discuss how NTT is helping organizations in leveraging technology to digitalize, innovate, enable, and also empower employees to drive efficiency and, of course, exceptional customer experience. And our guest speakers today joining us, they're flown in right away, all the way from Singapore and Toronto as well to meet you all here today. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Pranay Anand, Vice President from NTT Singapore, and also William C, Vice President CX Delivery, Innovation and Business Intelligence, NTT Business Processing Outsourcing on the stage. Please welcome.
Whiskey under my roof. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to speak to you today. Most of you know NTT as a technology company. Some of you have been an avid follower and participant in our global benchmarking. Now, we've been doing this annual research for 25 years. A report done by practitioners for practitioners. And why do we do it? To be honest, it gives me a chance to come and speak to you guys about something apart from technology, but most importantly, it helps myself, fellow leaders in my business, not only anticipate change, but organize ourselves better so we can help our clients and ourselves be relevant in this age. We were privileged this year to have over 1,500 leading organizations from 14 industry verticals participate in our survey. What we do is, outside of spotting trends, we give subject matter expertise as to how you deal with it. Now, we've decided to kind of change this a bit. Not interested in coming here and talking to you about stats. And I'm sure after the big night you had last night, you're probably saying, today, tell us what we do with this report and this stats. I'm honored today to be on stage with one of my colleagues. He is my internal customer. He's flown all the way from Toronto. William, welcome to Bangkok. Welcome to Southeast Asia. Welcome to where we make the world a better place.
Thank you, Pranay. Really a pleasure to participate today. As Pranay said, 25 years of research. Thank God it's not 25 years of my life. But I'm very passionate about the subject and topic in terms of how do you enable the technology for good, and drive and use the technology for certain purposes. So we will get a little bit more. I think fundamentally today we have a couple of things I want to share with you. One is sort of the past decades when we have been looking at various NTT technology. As you know, NTT invests billions of dollars in R&D on inventions. How do we bring those inventions into innovation? And how do we pivot and further evolve innovation to the business value outcomes? And at the CX space, which was I'm very passionate about, is how we, as NTT Data, take those technology, take those capabilities, and deliver the business outcome for our clients. I think it's extremely helpful to share what we have done. Because I myself, as Pranay says, internal customer, hopefully I'm not too harsh on you. But at the same time, showcase how we did it, just like you on the seats. Because you're coming here today, you already made a first great choice in terms of understand Genesis is one of the top CPaaS platforms in the world. But now, where do we go from there? So I'd love to share with the CX community and how we did it. So before I talk too much, maybe Pranay, you can talk about in terms of some of the secret sauce, in terms of what we're doing with our employees.
I think Brian did a great job in setting the stage. Makes my life easy. Because for us, we had to bring in 43 different organizations to create a brand. And to do that, we knew where the weakest link was. To Mariah's point earlier on, CX and EX can't run in silos. So the first thing we had to do globally, 195,000 employees, was we needed to come out with a new employee value proposition. We use the tagline, here you can. The here, the symbol is, Google Maps, you've got a place. We've kind of put an arm around it so we can hug each other. We've personalized the you with a handwritten note to tell the individual that if it is to be, it is up to you. You can be anything you want in this organization. We use this framework to then underpin what we call our digital north. And why is this important? For the longest time, we've invested in technology. Adoption has been pretty poor. Tools and platforms don't give you that experience. So we had to look at end-to-end, how do we create a baseline for innovation? Started off with our intelligent networks, can work from anywhere. One experience, one cloud. And last but not least, looking at a zero trust enterprise across identity, data, network, devices, and applications. Why? Because security is still the biggest threat, and employees are the weakest link when it comes to the security chain. Now, what this allowed us to do was not only bring that one single instance, but actually deliver to our customers and our shareholders real value. The first 24 months of this program, we have saved over $10 million from an investment in technology. Why? We took bold decisions. 85% of the 2,245 application we ran is now a SaaS application sitting in the cloud. We consolidated over hundreds of contracts and vendors. Simplicity is key to driving innovation. Now that's our internal transformation, William. You have a tougher gig. The world is talking about, you got any conference? Gen AI, this AI, that AI. You know that you not only have to deliver that customer promise, but also to the shareholder value. How are you leveraging technologies like AI today in your operations to be able to drive one of the highest net promoter score globally for BPO operation?
Yeah, I think the topic of AI has been very commonly articulated over and over again. And for example, the real-time conversation area platform, you have a factory platform under 10 years ago that have been deployed over 1,000 agents across the world. 7 years ago, we started the journey of designing interaction analytics and understand the natural language processing to detect intent. In the past couple of years, I've been focusing on Gen AI models, which is developing the large language model that is tailored to our clients, and use those in technology to further do the transformation. But isn't that really about just that? I don't think so. One of the philosophy is always about the AIs enable us to really think differently. Think about how we do things differently. Think about how we approach the problem differently. And fundamentally, how do we create value in a different approach? So here's what we have done. So one of the philosophies always talk about human-centric, people-centric. What we have done from an employee experience perspectives. So using agent assist, identify what's the right agent personas. Not every single agent is the same, just like everybody is here on the floor here. Every one of these individual human being has its own characteristic, has its own learning behaviors, and it has its own opportunities. So the agent assist program really we design and identify where are the different agent population they need to be treated differently. The other one is, and there's another common theme, it's called the data-driven actions, actionable insight, actionable intelligence. Ultimately, what it means is every single interaction counts. And that interaction comes from what your customer is telling you. From your product, from your marketing, from your competitive insights. So how do you harness this? And ultimately, you have three goals. You either make a change on your people, on your process, or your technology. And if you don't do that, don't analyze it. The third piece is about operation efficiency. What that means is, as we are going through more and more transformation, everybody is competing on a different level. The competitive advantage is going to be critical for us to make sure that you do the things with same resources, most of the time less resources, but do more. So we as NTT, how we did it is we have implemented various automation framework from the QA automations, as well as from testings. Another perspective we create called the virtual contact centers. So we're allowed the team leaders have that holistic view of every single agent on the screen. What's the sentiment of the conversations? What is the topic this agent is talking to the customer? And then the real-time alerts will push the right and proper interaction to the team leaders. And the last piece is revenue growth. Are you still a vendor or are you still a partner? The difference is because as a vendor, they only care about the wallet, the services. As a partner, we care about what is your common strategic goal. What is your shareholder expectations? What is your company's value propositions? That's what's matters. So we're focusing on identifying every single opportunity during the interactions. Where can we help you to drive the sales, which is revenue, to the top line? Where can we identify there's a customer churn risks? As some of you probably are fully aware, it's extremely difficult and highly cost to acquire a new customer and retain the customers. So this is what we've done.
Fantastic. So it's not futuristics, it's here, it's now. Well, you've got some good stories, right? Do you want to share just a couple of points on when you've deployed this in some of your processes? What sort of savings or benefits are you seeing?
Yeah, I have many stories. One of the stories I missed the flight from London, so that was intended to stay in Singapore, but I didn't have 2 weeks. What a shame. But I'm glad I'm here to share this story with you. What this is about is actually about a philosophy of how human learns and how human evolve and how can we continue to have a growth mindset. What it comes down to is what we have done is there's one telecom communication company, one of the major one in Canada. They are focusing outbound campaigns, constantly change the campaigns. Because those demand programs, there are a lot of turnovers, right? So the challenge here is how do you continue to maintain the new employees up to speed in terms of what they need to learn, but at the same time, maintain the tenured staff, keep up to date, what is constant changes in the campaign, product offerings, and value propositions. So what we have done is analyze looking at some of the behaviors of the agent, who are the best performers, what are some common objections. Everybody understands the sale process is A, B, C, always be closing. But when you execute, it's not that easy. But through this automated AI quality scorecard to analyze and design a proper guided sales call flows, we are able to continuously provide the agent the feedback and provide the leader the feedback of where's the coaching opportunity, where's the knowledge opportunities. What comes down to is inbound technology. It's about the consistency over intensity, right? It's about the practice, deliver the performance. So that's what we've done. And the results, you see a drive increased sales conversions, reduce the learning curve, and increase time to proficiencies.
Oh, whatever. I envy you because it's a tough gig.
Don't envy me.
Being the innovation guy and the BPO trying to drive efficiency, and you and I know the 1 + 1 = 3 is always on our cards. For the longest time we've known about AI technology, is that the other, the promise of this and promise of that. How are you doing this release management? How are you confident that these things can be done in a timely manner and you can realize these benefits as opposed to back in the days?
Yeah, I can tell you based on experience, so AI is actually not a new topic. Okay? AI has been in the space for decades. I think 20-some years ago, that's the first neural network was designed. And that is actually a version of what's the AI, which has evolved further today, the large language model. It just means the model become bigger and bigger and bigger, and processing faster and faster and faster. But I can tell you 8 years ago, this is not possible. Because of the limitation of the infrastructure, because the deployment takes a long time, because it requires you to secure significant CapEx. It's not possible. So cloud made it possible. There are a couple of front of it. If we talk about the customer experience, as my team, we constantly go through the iteration, test and learn. We failed a lot. That's actually a good thing. If you never failed, you haven't tried hard enough, right? So constant innovation goes through the iteration, learn fast, fail fast, learn fast. And the other one is there's more and more SaaS application in the cloud. This plugin, that API, this app, that app. My phone is full of apps. And the really cloud enable us to improve the integrations, right? And every single customer now is different. We talk about many different types of personalizations, the different genders, the different personas, different segmentations. That's a lot of things for us to process.
It's quite complex, isn't it, William? I mean, how are you dealing with that?
Sometimes I'm not sure. But I think one thing that is still remain focused on is that our employee is still the front and center of delivering the service, right? So how do we leverage the cloud? Cloud enables us to improve the productivity by simply connecting them closely. Imagine when you have a problem, you just tap the shoulder of your colleague beside you and say, hey, can you give me an answer? Those word fountain chat with the hybrid environment is no longer there anymore. The cloud enables us to recreate that experience.
So one cloud, one software, one system?
I hope so. So maybe, Renee, I'll turn to you, right? You look like a Superman with NTT logo in the chest. Why don't you share with how do you do that?
Actually, it's a bullseye for a larger sales target. We simplify complexity. So William is my internal customer. Right? What we do in the heart of our delivery model, we partner with Genesis. Right? Genesis is the center of our omnichannel platform, but we've built a lot of intelligence around it. Some using NTT proprietary software for say voice mining. We have digital human bots, but a lot of the partners out there today, please visit their booths. I'll get my money from them later for giving them a shout out. But visit them because we use these partners to actually build that end-to-end ecosystem, right? And processes that we see in a repeatable fashion, we automate that. That's not AI. We then drive efficiency through artificial intelligence. Whether it's touch points, whether it's traditional channels with voice integration, we built the entire stack. What we try and do is put a services wrapper, one portal, one experience for our clients all over the world. Why? Because you guys have much more complex problems to solve than look after the running, the watering and feeding of platforms. And from NTT's perspective, we're the masters at running change management, innovation and the like. So we provide that to our clients as a service, right? And that all-important question of cybersecurity. William, how are we dealing with cybersecurity? Personal data is a big thing. You know, security. What are you doing here?
Well, I think in the space, for example, PCI, for the credit card industries, there's a HIPAA. That's what's keep me connected, right?
Yeah, but you don't deal with it, you throw it back at me, don't you?
Well, that's the benefit to have a partner, internal partner, and that's the benefits actually to have a partner to know what they're doing, right?
So what William does is he scratches his head, does his security, look to the Vulcans while he drives business processes. I'll just give you some stats in Singapore. We're fortunate enough through our investment, we carry 82% of the internet traffic that comes into Singapore. In the last year, we've seen 175% year-on-year rise of cybersecurity attacks, for which 70% of that is targeting SaaS and platform as a service. An average cost of the breach in Singapore is $4.5 million US, and it happens. So fundamentally, what we've had to do is take a zero trust approach. We trust nobody at no point in time. But at the same time, we've got to make this intuitive, easy to use. So we've taken a data approach. There's no point you monitoring endpoints and cloud. It's about the data. It's about what's in use. So once we can hone into the data we need to protect, we're then able to create simple authentication models, single sign-on, so that there isn't a need for people to store passwords here, there, and everywhere. And last but not least, we talk about segmentation from a client perspective, this, that, the other. When it comes to cybersecurity, each function, each individual has a different cyber profile and a risk associated. So we need to look at that end to end. Now, when we come to this business around, customer experience, sending data from CRM here, there, what we've done is we've built an integration hub, right? We can pull data from any data source from anywhere, and the minute we mark that data source as restrictive, needs to be in a sovereign environment or locally stored, we're able to hold that in memory in real time, and then send the routing request we need of additional information from Genesis. And once they direct us with the agent desktop using Genesis forms, we can populate that data, right? Without any of that being sent to the cloud. Now that's allowed us to migrate some of our most complex users, banks, European large banks who are heavily governed with, PDP regulation, we're able to migrate them. Now that is an investment we've made, we'll continue to make, because we believe that organizational leaders, right, who have this built in as an experience, security as an experience, not as an afterthought, are the ones that are really changing the game. So William, you happy? How are things working for you?
I think let my client tell you how I feel.
Play the video. Thank you.
For our client experience, they want to be able to understand the work that we do at the contact center, the kinds of calls we receive, how quickly they're managed, whether or not we deal with inquiries on a first-served basis as opposed to having to talk to shareholders multiple times to solve their inquiries. So through technology, we are able to manage and understand the volumes that come into our contact center.
It was obvious to us that NTT had a variety of layers of data that would be available to us. Probably the most obvious benefit we have is data, being able to see more real time what's going on. We get all of the standard operational metrics, but we're also getting speech analytics. So what speech analytics can do is use keywords and build some robotics intelligence around what those words tend to mean and match that to sentiments so that we can get at a glance feedback for the service delivery or issues that people are having, and so we can react far quicker.
Technology offered to our callers is also important. Often callers will want to have the option for chat or other technology options and not necessarily speaking directly to an agent.
For us, with what NTT offered, it wasn't just a slight tweak, it was a real leapfrogging of technology, which would then allow us to grow even further.
Wow, quite powerful, isn't it, William, coming from your client? Now, I wish there was a magic pill I could just drop on every table. There isn't one. We firmly believe the state we got to and where most of our clients will get to is how we balance between science and the art of creating magical experience. Data at the center of our strategy allows us to not only transform our operations, but also humanize some of the digital contents that we are creating as a business. But most importantly, CX without the buy-in of our employees is a road to nowhere. For us, employees are the cornerstone of our organization. They are what makes NTT unique. I encourage you that it's taken us 25 years of research to bring that employee experience back. And I encourage you all to spend some time at our booth, see what we're doing, but most importantly, give that a go. I still believe that that emotional connection can only be created between a human to human. Now with that, I thank you for your time. We've put put a barcode there for the report. There's a 100-page report. I was going to present those to you. But we just wanted to share our journey. And the funny thing is, we've only just got started. Thank you for your time, Captain Cup. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, that's absolutely